And we have with us today Colonel Obasanjo, and unfortunately the other field commanders are not able to be with us at this moment. But we have Colonel Obasanjo, who is the commander of 3 Marine Commando, who have been able to capture a number of senior secessionist officers, and he had brought them to Lagos to see us in order to let us have their acceptance of the spirit of one Nigeria.
To formally give up secession and report for reappointment and redeployment.
Hello. Your Excellency.
Glad to see you again.
My pleasure.
How are you?
Very well indeed.
Glad to see you again. Thank you.
Patrick Amadi.
How are you?
Excellency.
Glad to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Glad to see you again.
It's an experience.
Honestly. Glad to see you again.
And I would like, therefore, to take this opportunity to say that I, Major General Philip Effiong, officer administering the government of the Republic of Biafra, now wish to make the following declaration. That we affirm we are loyal Nigerian citizens and accept the authority of the Federal Military Government of Nigeria. That we accept the existing administrative and political structure of the Federation of Nigeria. That any future constitutional arrangement will be worked out by representatives of the people of Nigeria. That the Republic of Biafra hereby ceases to exist.
To do what he did. Do you agree with what Gowon is saying?
I will never agree with that, because that is a blatant lie from the pit of hell. How can Gowon at this age of about 90 years be lying? How can he say he didn't cause the war? See, Ojukwu declared Biafra. Gowon declared war and brought the war to us in the east. And so he pushed us to the wall. And when he pushed us to the wall, we had no choice than to fight back. Because he had the mission to annihilate us. And we had to resist him. That is it. So if he said he didn't cause the war, he's a liar. He caused the war. He hired more than 12 nations, about 12 nations, foreign nations, to fight just the east. Already he has the Yorubas, the west, with him, fighting against us. But that was not enough. Britain was there, fighting against us. Because that's the main enemy of Igbos and Biafrans. Till now, yes, Britain is. Because of our crude. So, they put hands together, put heads together to fight us, to annihilate us, so that the oil can be theirs. Why would Gowon say he didn't declare the war? Well, then who brought the war? Who declared the war? Evidently, Ojukwu declared Biafra for the safety of Igbos and their eastern brothers. They were killing us everywhere. They were killing us in the police barracks, in the army barracks, naval barracks, air force barracks. They were killing us everywhere. Every peaceful move that Ojukwu made failed. To the extent that they had to go to Abu Rigana. You understand? And they had an accord, which is popular. The Aburi Accord. The agreement there was regional government. Let every region control their resources. And Ojukwu signed, Gowon signed. Oba of Benin was the Secretary of Civil Service then. He was part of that team. When they came back from Aburi, it was the Secretary to the federal government, Oba of Benin, the Secretary of the Civil Service, Oba of Benin, that advised Gowon against that Aburi Accord. He told him that if we practice regional government as it was, agreed in Aburi, that the country would divide. Then Gowon betrayed the Aburi Accord and declared war. Went across Africa and hired Fulanis to kill us. You understand? I was a Pashoko's child. I suffered Pashoko. I was 4 years old when the war broke out in 1967. So it is something I witnessed. I know how God saved me and my family, myself, my younger sister Shinwe, my younger brother Benjamin. We three had Kwashoko. It was only my senior brother who didn't have even headache. And my mother was taken out from one hospital to the other. And you could see Nigerian fighter jets bombing everywhere. I know how many times we escaped death at Odata Hospital Ehiala, where they were bombing.
So you were a witness?
Yes. It's not something I read on the book or somewhere. I am a living witness. So if Gowon said he didn't cause it, he's causing more provocation on every Easterner.
So he's lying?
He's lying.
Is it that Gowon, let's say, he's trying to avoid he's trying to avoid him begging the Southeasterner? Do you think that he's saying it out of pride, or he's saying it as if he doesn't want to blame himself?
He's the one who knows what is pushing him to lie at this age. If he die with this lie, he will go to hellfire. Because no single liar will enter heaven.
You don't agree that he was doing it for the unity? Like he wanted a one
What
Nigeria.
unity? Anyone who wants the unity of Nigeria will do the right thing. And what is the right thing? Break away from this evil political system that has gone to every nook and cranny of this country and taken by force what belongs to the people and take it to Abuja. And is not giving the people peanuts. It is a shame. The system we're practicing here is a corruption generator. And there's nothing this system can do only than generating corruption. Because how can you take what belongs to the people to Abuja, and then you get to Abuja, the federal force is massively rich. And these criminally minded politicians are stealing and stealing and stealing, and it is as if the thing is not finishing because it flows. It's golden money, it's oil money, it flows in trillions, and they're stealing it in trillions. Why the owners of the resources are dying in poverty? Imagine a bag of rice being sold up almost 100,000 naira. Imagine that you give your child 500 naira, the child cannot feed with it. Imagine the list. If you take 1,000 naira to a booker, you cannot feed well. A pint of gari used to be 300 naira. Half pint used to be 150. How much is it now? We can't buy beans, we can't buy yam, we cannot buy pepper, we cannot a 25 liter of granite oil is now 70,000 plus. What the hell? What the hell? And the one is telling me unity. Does he know the meaning of the word unity? Does he value unity?
Can we ever want this country?
We are not one, and will never be one. Awolowo said it. Nnamdikanu said it. Tafawa Balewa said it after the amalgamation, that this amalgamation cannot work because we are too divided. We are too separate to be one. We cannot be one. He said we cannot. We are not one. Nigeria is a British idea. The amalgamation is a British idea. that they may bring us together for their own good so that they can mine our resources. You understand? And this thing has never worked. If you want to create a united country, after all, there is the United States of America, made up by 13 different countries. They came together and formed the United States of America. And every state is independent. Give the people independence. Even in one country, give them independence. If we had been practicing regional government or true federalism, where states control their resources and pay percent to the federal post for the maintenance of the federal structure, nobody will have problem. Look at it. When you talk about the high sea is in the east. Lagos hasn't got any high sea. Lagos has beaches. But Lagos is the only working port in Nigeria. Is that not crazy? When you talk about the belly of the high sea, you go to Calabar. You go to Port Harcourt. You go to Warri. And the seaports there are not working. Only the one in Lagos is working. And people are trooping in Lagos. And you can see an obvious overpopulation problem in Lagos. And the god of Lagos is not thinking about the problem that Lagos inhabitants are having because of the overpopulation. He considers only the economic, benefits of the population. Is that how to be a leader? Is that how to make people comfortable in one country? Is that unity? Gowon does not know what unity means. And he doesn't know how to provide it. So he shouldn't tell me unity. Because he doesn't know what it is.
But should we go, so like somebody was saying on social media, should you go to every southeast region and possibly the middle belt to apologize as regards what's really happened? Should you go to every southeast state to apologize to like a town hall meeting with
the deed is done.
So you feel that the art of
100 trillion sorry. It's too late. Will you bring back about 10 million children that you killed? Will you bring back their life? Will you restore to us, Igbos, our houses you claimed as abandoned property all over Nigeria? Will you return our money that you seized in 1970 after the war in banks and give us 20 pounds that we may die of hunger? What useless sorry is that? The deed is done. He should accept that it cost the war. Whether he accepts or not, the record is there. Ojukwu declared Biafra for the safety of Igbos. He said, come home to our land so they can be a remnant of Igbos. With the speed they were killing us all over the place. And Gowon declared the war against Ojukwu and Biafrans. So he must take responsibility.
Well, another point, like you said, he was too young back then to know what it was. Do you think he was too young? I think it was 27 as at then.
From 18 years, you are an adult, and you will face the consequence of your offense. So at 27, he was a man, and that is not an excuse. All of them at that point were young. He was young, Ojukwu was young, Obasanjo was young, Babangida was young, Theophilus Danjuma was young. All of them were young men, but they brutalized us. So age has nothing to do with it. He committed arson.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are watching us from. It's another edition of Politics on the Street. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like our video, please share, comment for more political discourse. Pastor, an Indian activist, cum international lawyer, has promised that he will take over nnamdikanu case on the 13th of June 2025, saying that he would appear in court, and the Nigerian government are saying that he would not be granted visa. They want to refuse this young man from visiting Nigeria. Knowing whether the man is coming out to support nnamdikanu. How can you back to this, sir?
Yeah, I remember one of the only Biafran evangelists. If you watch what is going on now, the case of nnamdikanu has become global. It is no longer a local thing or ordinary issue that the parties or that have to handle within the country. It has become too obvious and too global to the society, to the people, to the world entirely per se. You can listen to social media what one Indian man was saying, and you can listen. After listening to that, you will discover, and you agree with me, that the world has seen the injustice that are being played against the Igbos, the injustice that Nigeria have been playing against the Biafrans, and they are seeing it that of the truth that what we are fighting for is not injustice but justice. And how do I mean by justice? It is our civil rights. It is nnamdikanu constitutive human right to agitate, to protest, and to fight for his freedom of his people, because the people of the land have the right to protect their land, their ancestral land, given to them by Chukwokike Obiama. That is why the Indian man has volunteered, because he himself has finally find out under his research and watch and discovered of a truth that Igbos are truly and thoroughly being marginalized in this country. If somebody like Igbo could come out in agitation of the same thing which nnamdikanu was agitating, of which he traveled as far as going to UK to drop a note regard to this, and yet is working freely. What stopped nnamdikanu not to work freely? But and let me tell you again, there is another thing again. If DSS Director General Boss, in person of Ajayi, can as well make the same statement which nnamdikanu made, until why Danjuma, that is Theophilus Danjuma, said the same thing, that Nigeria should wake up, should come up with something to defend themselves, which nnamdikanu made. And all these people are working freely. Mighty Allah people, killing people, taking life in different various states, in different various nations, killing in the corporate New Day, and they are working freely. They have never arrested them, they have never tried them, they have never charged them to court, yet they are working freely. Why should nnamdikanu be facing injustice in Nigeria, facing trials that is not called for, that is not needed, that is not necessary? Listen and listen good, my beloved brother. These people have, done a lot of harm to the Igbo. This is why we say intimidation, humiliation, and oppress and suppression. They are giving it to us, and which now we have decided to free from the oppression of Nigeria Pharaoh. And that is why you see the Indian man volunteering himself, the son from India, saying that they want to come and be partnering with the legal team of nnamdikanu to fight for the injustice that is being played or going on against the Southeast, the Biafran per se.
But Pastor, there are rumors that this Indian activist might be denied visa. Mainly, well, the reason he is applying for the Nigerian visa.
Yes.
Come and help.
Of course. There is every tendency, and in every rumor there is always a truth and there is always a fact. Nigeria may decide to deny, because if India should come to Nigeria to represent nnamdikanu, you know what that means? It has involved Indian government eyes in Nigeria, and there is a lot of messages that will come from Nigeria. They will gather from Nigeria a message to the India, which may likely play against Nigeria. That is why Nigeria will likely decide not to give him visa, because Nigeria is a country who prefer injustice rather than justice. They hate the truth. Nigeria hates the truth. Nigeria doesn't want to accommodate truth, and they don't want to see anybody speaking the truth and allow that person to live. That is why you can see what happened to Brutai, the one who want to brutalize the life of nnamdikanu. You can see, Brutai. He went to nnamdikanu under the watch of, the former chief of staff, who brutalized nnamdikanu and brutalized the life of Biafrans. The people that are doing normal protests, they did not have any arms, and they did not have anything, not nothing paper, and he went and set fire on them and sentenced them to early death. The same Brutai village now, Boko Haram have vandalized it. Brutai is on the run. Where is Brutai? Why not trace Boko Haram? His hometown now have been vandalized the same way that he vandalized Mazen Nnamdikanu with attention an intention to do what? To eliminate Mazen Nnamdikanu, to assassinate Mazen Nnamdikanu. Thank God for Chukwu Abiyama, who intervened in that matter, who have seen the atrocity, the wickedness of Chukwu Brutai, and he decided to save Mazen Nnamdikanu because he run. A soldier know they fight and finish. He fight to remain in order to fight another day. And thank God who liberated and who delivered Mazen Nnamdikanu. Now Mazen Nnamdikanu escaped the plan of Nigeria and the Brutai who came to Brutai his home, and as God have led him to escape that assassination. Today, he is fighting it in Nigeria, struggling and muscling it out in Nigerian court of law. See, and listen to me. You will see Boko Harams call them, they call them what? Repented Boko Haram. They will include them and give them Nigerian uniform, and they don't have anything called repented IPOB. Nigeria doesn't have it, but they have repented Boko Haram. Iswab, Mahmouda, and the rest, and Kakarawa, they have the repented ones, but they don't have repented IPOP. That is the kind of country we are in, and that is why we want to do what? Make sure we do away with this darkness. But because we are the light, and the light need to shine. But do you think with the coming of this Indian international lawyer, do you think Kanu will get justice? And with this led justice or more trial, do you think Kanu will get justice? See, I'm not telling you, Kanu is already gaining ground and is already getting justice. It is not until the Indian man come. After all, Indian presidents, if I'm not mistaken, visited Nigeria one certain time. You understand? So if this one should come, or if it's not allowed, his coming or not coming will not stop the justice from Mazen Nnamdikanu, and neither will it stop the injustice in Nigeria. But it will be a kind of a plus to Mazen Nnamdikanu. And yes, it will be a plus. And it tells you and I that even India are picking interest, that Mazen Nnamdikanu have drawn the attention of the Indians, and they are picking interest regard to this because the human rights need to be obeyed. Okay, Pastor, my fundamental right must be respected and must be honored anywhere in the world. Okay, Pastor, we say very big thank you to you. God bless you, my beloved. You're welcome.